I'm going to walk across my room. Okay. So let's get started and we'll see where this goes. Hands together, feet together if you can. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again. Exhale to lower your arms. Inhale to reach up. Let's fold forward for the exhale, however much you can go on that first one. And we're going to bend the knees and squat and reach forward. So we're in a little ball. And we'll just try to bring the belly in so that there's some space between the flesh of the belly and the thighs. Just take one more breath here. We'll push down into the feet. We'll come all the way to stand. Reach up, inhale. And fold forward, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Step back to plank, exhale. So we'll do a few little almost down dog type things, but our chin's going to be at our chest. So as you lift your hips, round your back and bring your chin to your chest, stay high on the balls of the feet. Then return to your plank again. So you never actually get to full downward dog. I'll just do that a few times. Look at your belly, chin toward chest, heels up, and then rock to that more normal plank feeling. And as you're hoisting your hips up and your chin to your chest, see if you can think about drawing your belly in, almost like someone is putting their knuckles there just to the side of your belly button to help you get a little bit more hollow. Let's do this one more time. And from this normal plank, we'll move through a vinyasa. I will wind up in downward dog as we know it normally, with heels pressing down, head relaxed, neck relaxed. And that previous thing we were doing, that weird form of downward dog, it helps get the abdominals engaged and uddiyana bandha happening. But we also might have felt that in the shoulders a bit. It takes a lot of strength to hold yourself in those places. Okay, after the next exhale, step or jump forward. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Bend into the knees, utkatasana, inhale. And squat again for your exhale. If you have any knee pain, just don't go this low. Press into the feet, rise all the way up. Inhale. Fold again, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Step or jump, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Take 2 breaths there. We'll rock forward to plank. We'll try to stay stable with the hips. We're just going to bring one knee to the elbow and step to plank again. Then the other knee and step to plank. And just alternate at whatever pace you want to go, but try not to let the hips shift a whole lot. So you have to use your core to stabilize you. Finish up whatever cycle you're on. We'll meet in downward dog again. Whew, that was hard. Next, inhale, heels up high. Bend the knees, exhale, look forward, and jump. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Bend into the knees. Inhale, utkatasana. Straighten the legs. Exhale. 3 times just like that. Bend the knees, inhale to reach up. Utkatasana. Straighten the legs. Just stand tall. And just practice pushing into your feet to get your legs straight. This is good practice for something like a drop back, which sounds so much harder, but really the element of pushing into your feet is super helpful. So we'll find our utkatasana and fold forward, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Send the left foot back, exhale. Straighten the right leg, inhale. Bend both legs, place the left knee down, exhale. Reach up, steeple mudra in Anjaneyasana, inhale. And chaturanga for your exhale. Upward facing for your inhale. Downward facing for your exhale. Heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, look past your fingers and jump forward. Inhale to straighter legs. Exhale, head toward shins. Inhale, reach the chest forward, then send the right leg back for your exhale. Straighten the left leg for your inhale. Rebend for the exhale for that Anjaneyasana position. Steeple mudra, reach up and back, inhale. And hands to the floor for your chaturanga exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Right leg to the ceiling, inhale. Knee to the nose, exhale. Leg to the ceiling again, inhale. And step to the hands, exhale. Straighten the front leg, inhale. Bend the knees, Anjaneyasana, exhale. Again, reaching up, steeple mudra, inhale. And hands to the floor for chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left leg high, inhale. This brings us some strength. Knee to the nose, exhale. Inhale, leg up. The same strength, steps our foot forward between the hands, exhale. Straighten the front leg, inhale. Rebend, exhale for Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale for chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing. And exhale for downward facing. Right leg up high, inhale. Right knee to the left elbow, exhale. Leg up high, inhale. Same thing again, right knee to the left elbow, exhale. Inhale, leg up. And step forward, exhale. On fingertips, we'll straighten that right leg, just however much it goes. Exhale to bend, Anjaneyasana. Steeple mudra, reach up and back, inhale. And hands to the floor for chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left side, leg up high, inhale. Left knee to the right elbow. Keep your left heel close to you. Inhale, leg up high again so that the toes don't touch the floor. Exhale, knee to the right elbow. Inhale, leg up. And then step to the hands, exhale. Straighten that front leg, inhale. Bend the leg, exhale. Right knee down. Inhale, reach up and back. And exhale, cycle through your vinyasa. Let's walk the hands back to the feet in downward dog. When your hands get there, first two fingers and thumbs, take the big toes, inhale, and fold, exhale. 3 more breaths here. Engage your quads. Last breath here. We'll straighten the arms, inhale, and place the fingertips down in front of you. We're just going to shift the hands over to the left a few inches weight in the left foot, I lift the right leg up to the side. So the foot is pretty much out, just angled with your hip, aligned with your hip. And we're just trying to get the pinky toe edge of the foot up. It's a lot of work for both legs, standing leg and lifted leg. Let's lower that right foot, shift the hands over to the right, and lift the left leg. And if you're feeling like your leg is not going as high as you want, it might be that you need to work the bottom foot a little bit more. One more breath here. Hello, outer glutes. Okay, lower that left foot. Let's walk ourselves into downward dog again. Keep your heels down for as long as possible. When you get to full down dog, think of your butt lifting up and back. So you're actually using your hands to push your butt up and back. That same root to rise concept we had earlier. Let your inner thighs move back. Heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, look forward and jump. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Come halfway up, separate the feet hips width for paschimottanasana. Hands under the feet, toes by wrists. Inhale when you're there. Exhale to fold. So you're pushing the balls of your feet down into your hands. And it's like your hands want to slide out, but your weight on your weight from your feet is just not letting them. They're stuck. The result is your chest will come closer to your legs. Okay, come halfway up for your inhale. Hands to the hips for your exhale. And rise the rest of the way up. Inhale. We'll bring the feet together again. Take your time. We're going to meet in flying pigeon. Right leg on top. So that right ankle to the lower left thigh. And we'll stick our butt out, chest forward. And after that thing we did where we lifted our leg out to the side and your glutes were working like mad, this should feel pretty good. Take one more breath here. We'll start to rise up. We'll step the right foot back and just pivot for warrior two, facing the back of your mat. We won't do anything fancy at this moment. Just squeeze your legs together. That's not anything that will be visible. You won't know if I'm doing it. I won't know if you're doing it. It's very subtle. I just have to adjust my pants. That front heel is going to dig into the floor and pull back. Okay, let's pivot around to the front of the mat again for flying pigeon. Same place you were before. If you have no knee issues, take it into a squat where your left heel comes off the ground and your left knee faces front. So that left thigh is pretty much parallel to the floor and it's serving as a table. You can bring your hands to prayer or not. You're going to feel balance is pretty precarious. Okay, if you went there, take your time rising up again. We're going to meet in warrior two, again facing the back edge of the mat. So right foot steps back and we swivel around. This time, parsvakonasana. Either right elbow to the thigh or hand down to the floor. For today, if you're going hand to the floor, go big toe side of foot. That's not the traditional Ashtanga way, but it will help us with where we're going today. Foot behind the head type of stuff. If you want, take a half bind or a full bind. And you're just trying to scooch that right hip further underneath you. Okay. Let's slowly unravel if you're bound. We'll rise up. We're just going to pivot around to the front and just step your back foot to meet your front foot so you're standing. And it's lovely. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. I'm just going to take a vinyasa before we do the other side. Inhale. And step or jump back. exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Heels up, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, make sure your arms are straight and jump forward. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Bend the knees, utkatasana. And we'll just do the other side. Left ankle to lower right thigh. Lean into it. Okay, into warrior two. So keep your balance as you step back with that left foot. Pivot around. Heel to arch alignment. Back leg super straight. Tailbone heavy. Pubic bone lifting up toward belly button. Okay, let's pivot around, make our way to flying pigeon again, facing the front. So that left ankle is on the right thigh, and you decide, do you want to stay somewhat up or lower your butt closer to your right heel? That right thigh is an easy platform, but balance, that's where it's at. A lot of drawing in and up through the belly, so it feels like you're getting a little taller, even though you're quite low. Okay, we'll make our way to that flying pigeon again, if we strayed. And let's step back for warrior two. When you're ready, parsvakonasana. Back leg stays straight. And make a choice about your left arm. Look in your hip handle. Make a choice about your bind. Maybe a half bind is suitable. Okay, and we'll slowly unravel ourselves. And we'll just come to the front of the mat, stepping left foot to meet right foot. Whenever you're there, vinyasa. Take your time. We're going to meet in downward dog, which we're actually going to turn into a headstand. And if that is not to your liking, feel free to stay in downward dog or play with any shoulder work that you know and love. So in this headstand, we're going to get up, however, baddha A, and we're going to come down into a straddle, just touch real light toes on the ground, and then return to our vertical place. So, see you up there. I like to just come up with my legs together. You might want to go one leg at a time. You might want to bend your knees. Once you take a breath or two in vertical, start to separate your legs out to the side. And just go as low as you can, because you're going to have to come back up. So not everyone is going to touch toes to the floor. Just go as low as you can and start to lift your legs up again. Take another breath or two when you're in vertical again. And to descend, we're just going to bring knees toward the chest, curl into a little ball, and take a breath or two in child's pose before we meet again in downward dog. Okay, when you're ready, downward dog. We'll lift the heels high. We'll bend the knees and jump forward. Inhale there. Fold, exhale. Well, let's just stand up. Reach up. I'm just going to face you, but you're fine there. I'm just going to bring the right arm under the left. Palms together if possible. Then bring the right thigh over the left. So we're in eagle with the thighs crossing as high as they can. Possibly your right foot goes behind your left ankle. Take one more breath here. We're going to keep these arms. We're just going to unravel the right leg, step it back, and pivot around for warrior one, facing the back of the mat. Energize your left leg and start to lift your elbows up. So you increase your back bend just a little bit. Okay, straighten your right leg, pivot around to the front again. Bring your right leg up and over again from whence it came into eagle. This time, elbows to the belly. Round yourself. So you're like an eagle now who's looking down for a little mouse on the ground. Flying around, belly in. Let's start to unravel. We'll step back again, undo the arms. This time, pivot around for triangle with that right arm reaching out and down over that right leg. Maybe that top arm wants to go behind the back for a half bind. To open the shoulder a little bit. If you have any neck issues, maybe you want to drop your right ear toward your right shoulder. Okay, we'll slowly get down to wherever we are. Rise up on your inhale and just pivot around, step your right foot to meet your left foot. There we go. My foot was just floating in space. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway up, inhale. Step or jump, chaturanga. Exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Step or jump forward. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Rise up, inhale. And bring your left arm under your right. Twist them as best you can. You also might want to hug your fingers around your shoulder blades and then link your hands. So when you can, left over right. We're trying to lift our elbows up, our thumbs away. Squeeze the legs together. And we'll turn it into warrior one by just unraveling, stepping back and pivoting. Our left knee is bent, our right leg super straight. And we're trying to bring our right ribs forward, our chest up. Okay, let's pivot around. We'll return to eagle. It might be one big step, or it might be a series of little steps to get your left leg up and over again. When you can, elbows into your belly. Start to lean forward. The more you can draw your belly in, the more you're going to feel your mid-back round. It's a really nice stretch. Okay, rise up, step back, turn it into triangle over that left leg. Right arm can be up or behind you. There are other things also that I did not mention. You guys know a lot of tricks. Okay, let's rise up, take your time. That's an inhale. And we'll pivot and step forward. Exhale. Oh Lordy, running to my sweat towel. Okay, vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. You can go straight to down dog if you prefer. We're going to take another headstand when we get there. So maybe you want to Really milk your vinyasa and enjoy it. Okay, so we did a baddha A. Now we're going mukta A. But we'll do the same legs that we did before. So we'll get up somehow, open up into the side split, come up again, and then come down with the bent knees. So this is your little tripod. Come up when you're ready. Take a few breaths when you're up there. Make sure your elbows stay in. When you feel ready, open up the legs. This is going to be a lot of flexibility, but also what are your abdominals able to do for you? Whenever you feel ready to come down, just curl into a little ball. Take a few breaths in your child's pose. Okay, and let's meet in downward dog. Okay, we're going to jump through and have a seat. Nook is going to practice. So as we jump through, your shoulders are going to stay forward so that your feet can be counterweighting on your butt. Good. Right ankle to lower left thigh. Just slide that left foot in. We lean back to get the foot planted, and then we'll lean forward again. Just like your flying pigeon. Perhaps you can interlace your fingers. Okay, we're going to turn this into a twist, ardha mayurasana. So we'll let that left foot come by our right hip, and our right sole of foot come to the floor. Left foot will be pretty much pointed. Hug that knee to the left shoulder, or hook your arm, or if the bent elbow is working well and you want to experiment, reach your hand down for the right foot. If you're actually trying to hold your foot, there can be basically no space here between your armpit and your thigh. So before you rush to put your hand on your foot, because that will potentially hurt your elbow a little bit, just work on getting this bridged. So it takes a lot of leaning forward, even though the last thing you feel like doing right now is leaning forward. Okay, let's get out of there. We're just going to hug the knees into the chest and balance for a moment on our butt. Seems doable. Let's just try it without our hands holding our legs. Little less fun, but still, we're okay. Let's just try rocking a little bit. So we'll hold our shins for this one, and we'll just drop chin toward chest, round yourself, and just go to the shoulder blades, and then up to your butt again. And we'll just try to stay within that range. If you go too far back or too far forward, it probably means you were going a little bit with momentum. So go a little slower. Better to be sort of stuck somewhere than to flail around. Okay, so once you're on your butt again, we'll just straighten out the right leg and we'll just do the other side hip stretch. So left ankle to lower right thigh. Slide that right heel close to you. Start to walk your hands in so your chest moves toward your shin. And either keep your hands there for support or wrap your arms around you. If you fall out of this, it will look something like this. It's very safe and comfortable. So don't worry about trying it and having it go awry. Unless, of course, your cat is behind you, in which case you best not fall backwards. Okay, so turning this into ardha mayurasana, the right knee is going to face front. The left toes are going to face front. This left knee is going to try to move to the right. So as you twist, you're going to use your right arm strength to literally push the knee to the right. So practice bridging that gap. One of the details of that is you can use your left thumb on the flesh of the thigh and roll the thigh flesh in. As you roll the thigh in, you get your torso hooked more on the outside. Makes it way easier to then reach down for your foot. Okay, let's slowly unravel. We'll balance on our butt again. You can just point the toes and have them close to, but not on the floor. And reach forward. Okay, so we're going to try to rock without our hands on our shins this time. We'll see. I like to keep the inner edges of the feet pressing together because otherwise the legs get a little wild. So just use that as your point of reference and just see if you can go back and up again. And if it's too much, then hold your shins like you did before. The next time that you're coming forward, we're going to meet in a squat. So you can just come a little bit more, and it's still a no hands thing. Yes, good. So you just had to lean maybe more than you're comfortable with. Okay, so bakasana is very natural from there. Knees toward armpits. Lean again. Heels up. Keep leaning. And when you're ready, chaturanga. Okay, from down dog, right leg up high. Inhale. Knee to the left elbow like you did earlier. Exhale. One more time like that, leg up. Inhale. Knee to left elbow. Exhale. Leg up high, inhale. And just step 3/4 of the way forward so we can find our twisted triangle. Left hand somewhere, right arm up. So you've already done a few twists. This is still hard. There's literally no way that I have found to make twisted triangle not feel hard. I like to push into the ball of the hand, or I should say the pointer finger knuckle, the equivalent of the ball of the foot. And that helps bring the left shoulder more to the right. Okay, so slowly get out of wherever you are. 3-legged downward dogs. That right leg's just going to lift up again. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Exhale. Do that again. Inhale, leg up high. Don't let the toes graze the floor as you come forward with that knee. Okay, leg up high. And just lower the foot, normal downward dog. And we'll just try the other side. Left leg up. Inhale. Knee to the right elbow. Exhale. Leg up high. Inhale. Knee to the right elbow. Twist. Exhale. Leg up high. Step 3/4 of the way forward. Twisted triangle. Heel to heel alignment. It will be much easier to press into the pointer finger knuckle of your right hand if you have your right hand on your big toe side of the foot. So you decide. You also potentially have a block there. Okay, let's slowly unravel. 3-legged downward dog, left leg up. And just for 2 breaths, exhale, knee to the left elbow. Inhale, leg up. One more time. Hopefully it's not too hard. And we'll just meet in a regular downward dog. Okay, let's come to hands and knees. So we did Baddha Hasta A, Mukta Hasta A. Now let's do Baddha Hasta B. It's kind of a tricky one. So this is the Ijanu Genie one. Our thumbs are linked inside of the elbow, just like in the little elbow crease. Our fingers wrap around the arms. Our forehead's going to come right to the forearm. So come up when you're ready. And if you feel comfortable up there, you could try the split thing. But you might find that it's enough just trying to get your legs off the ground. You decide. This is a lot of elbows. So much pushing down the whole time. No matter what your legs are doing, you're pushing like through the ground with your elbows. And we'll try to descend the same way, knees into the chest. Good. Okay, so when you're ready, downward dog again. We're going to jump through and have a seat. Heels up for that jump through might make it easier. It's almost like you think handstand also, so that you can kind of catch yourself. Okay, parsvakonasana. Soles of the feet together. Chest up, inhale. Fold chest toward toes. Exhale. So in Ashtanga style, we open up the feet like a book. In Anusara style, they keep the soles of the feet together. So you might want to experiment with that. Okay, let's rise up. We're just going to straighten the left leg for janu sirsasana A. Right foot to left thigh. Inhale and fold over that left leg. Exhale. And just for right now, because there's a lot happening in this pose, for right now, concentrate on how your right foot is pressing into your left thigh. That relationship. Okay, let's rise up. We're going to keep this relationship, but our right hand is going to have to help us keep it as we spin onto the outer edge of the left foot. We're going to come into side plank. I'm going to face this way. Okay, so our right knee is going to face up. Our right hand is going to help get our hips up. Left hand will behave no problem. So right fingers on the ground so that you can hoist your hips up. And once your hips are up, it's no problem to reach your right arm up. Same as you would in a side plank. But you have this nice relationship of foot and thigh, and you're going to push your thigh up into your foot so that your hips stay very well lofty. To come down again, you can use your right hand or not. Just somehow get your hip and then your butt to the floor. And we're going to turn this into potentially janu sirsasana C. Not going to be for everyone. So here you are in A, foot is by your thigh, it's very lovely. For C, you're going to hold right foot with right hand, pinky toe edge. And you're going to pull it in close to you with the heel so that the ball of the foot comes down and the toes come down, facing sort of a diagonal. And then I adjust the hips a little bit so that the knee and the toes face pretty much the same way. You end up, I'm going to move my left leg out of the way so you can see, but you end up with the foot sort of up. It's not that comfortable. So fold forward when you can. This is one of those positions that's not often in an improv class, and you'd only get the moment to practice it if you're doing primary series in Mysore. But this pose is great for that feeling you have if you're in this pose, heel is up in your gut. Uddiyana Bandha style, and it's basically poking through your belly into your back. And that's a great stretch for foot behind the head. Okay, we'll let that go. We're just going to keep our legs straight or somewhat straight for a moment. They don't have to be solid straight. Just reach forward and start to roll down to your back. Try to go slow. I like to bring chin to chest so that the back has an easier time rounding. So gravity helped us down there. Let's see if we can rise up again. And we might get stuck. In which case we'll pause. Take a breath. Try again. Okay, one more time, just like that. If you have any back issues, bend the knees more. Always err on the side of bending more. We don't want life to be so hard. Okay, so left leg. Janu sirsasana 8. So left foot to right sole of thigh. This is very innocent. Inhale. Exhale to fold. So now you know why I asked you to think about that foot-thigh relationship. We're in a few breaths, we're headed toward that side plank variation. If the foot and the thigh are not communicating, there will be slippage and life will get difficult. Okay, so we'll rise up. Flex that right foot like crazy. Come onto the pinky toe edge of the foot. Adjust so you're actually on your mat. And use your left fingers to help you hoist your hips up. Once your hips are up to a nice height, there will be no shoulder strain. If your hips start to get saggy, it's going to hurt all through that right shoulder. So, as best you can, press your right thigh up into your left foot. And when we want, when we're ready, we come on down again, and we attempt maybe Janu sirsasana C. So to get into it, it's kind of a weird hand grip, kind of like a king pigeon grip would be odd and something you have to get used to. So left hand to the pinky toe side of the foot close to the heel, pull the foot in, the ball of the foot will come to the floor, and then I usually have to adjust my hips around that new foundation. The ball of your left foot just became part of the foundation, as did your toes. And it's a crazy stretch for the arch. Oh my Lord. Okay, and let's slowly rise up out of there. And we'll just take vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. So look, let's see, you're jumping back, girl. Back is so hard, I know. So to jump back, start with your hands in front of your hips and just practice leaning forward, lifting your butt, and sliding your feet through the little space. And that's going to give you a ton of strength. Okay. So the next headstand on the list, mukta has to be. So we're going back and forth between baddha and mukta. This one is the arms out in front. Feel free to repeat any of the other versions we've done. So this one, our knuckles are down, palms are up. I have a lot of trouble finding vertical in this one. Carol, you can go 2 more inches back with your legs. Yes. And Anouk, you could go like quite a lot back more. You're kind of in a pike. It's weird because the pike position makes us feel emotionally more secure, but it's physically actually easier when we get to vertical. But the reason I struggle to get to vertical is all the emotional baggage that goes with what if we fall over. Okay. So let's meet in downward dog. If you feel like you need to try that again, feel free. Okay, let's step the right foot forward and lower the left knee down. Untuck the back toes, so it's just like Anjaneyasana. Take a breath here to drop your right hip closer to your heel. And creep your left knee about 12 inches further back. And we'll do the same thing. Just pause, try to drop your hip down and forward toward that right heel. It's very long Anjaneyasana, so it's hard to control it at that point. And slide your feet a little bit further away. And maybe a little bit further away. So our hips are moving down. You might have noticed we're headed toward Hanumanasana, which is a split. Sometimes in a split, it is helpful to keep the front leg bent a little bit. That front heel digs into the floor and essentially pulls back. And it will help you keep honest. Okay, we'll turn it into pigeon. So we'll rock to that right hip and just bend the knee. And bring yourself center again. So you got to get off that right hip. Okay, let's rise up. Circle that back leg around so it's in front of you. And we'll take the right leg either to a half lotus or to that number 4 pose where your ankle is on the lower part of your left thigh. And we'll fold forward. Just a few breaths here so that you can mentally prepare. We're going to return to a side plank situation. Those of you who are in half lotus, you're going to keep it. Those of you in a number 4 thing, you're going to do what we did before, where you put your foot on your left inner thigh. Okay, so let's rise up. Adjust your foot as needed. Rock to the left. Use your right fingers to help hoist your butt up. And then when you can, right arm up. If you're in half lotus, you might take a bind. I have to bend my left knee to get the bind, and then maybe re-straighten it again. Okay. Good, you got this enough? Yes. So hips up is the name of the game. Okay. And slowly let that go. Ooh, Lordy, shake it out. We'll try the other side. So I think it started it started a long time ago. We got a vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. It started way back when in your Anjaneyasana. That was like 6 minutes ago. Okay, so we'll meet with our left foot in front. And we're just trying to drop hips down. I feel this so much in the right hip flexors. And we'll scoot the right knee back a little more. And we'll still try to stay with our Anjaneya shape. Maybe a little more. I usually just move my back leg, but because of the camera, I know I will be soon walking off the back of the mat. So then I start to move the left heel forward. Just experiment with what feels better for you. I feel just a little bit out of control if I move the front foot too much. Okay, so we turn this into pigeon. However you can do that. And we're not here forever, so don't get too comfortable. Make sure that your right hip is moving down as much as the left. Okay, we rise up, swing that right leg around, and make a choice. Half lotus, which would be heel toward belly button. Then as your left knee comes in, your toes just dangle slightly over the thigh. Or go number 4. Okay, into side plank we go. So I know a lot of people who are, if you're bound and you have half lotus, it is easier to keep the bind and then lift up. I don't find it that way, but a lot of people do. So if you're bound, maybe you keep your bind as you lift your hips. I feel like my hips are a ton of bricks. Whew, and getting them off the ground on their own is like so hard. Oh God. Okay. But once they're up, then it's fine. So I like to have my left hand free to help get the hips up and then try to get the bind. But there's a million ways into everything. Okay, so come on down whenever it's convenient for you. Nice. And let's just cross the legs like normal, like shins crossing. But we're going to reach the arms through the space and then hug our legs in. So it's nothing fancy. It's just that your forearms are making it so that your legs are sort of stuck close to your chest. Now we're just going to do the same rocking that we did before. To the shoulder blades and then up to the butt. And I didn't make it up to the butt that time. So it's a do what I say, not what I do kind of experiment. Ooh, and then I made it too far forward. So it's a fine line between what is momentum, what is that core strength. Good. Okay, very nice. Then let that go, and let's stretch the legs out in a V, paschimottanasana. If you prefer sarsana, feel free to do that instead. This is like the friendly version. So we'll bring our chest forward, kneecaps face up, toes face up, feet are flexed. You could put your chest on something. I don't have a normal couch pillow, but if you did, you could just grab a pillow, put it down here, and lay your chest on it. Feels awesome. But currently my pillows are propping up my camera. So, okay, so let's rise up, bring the feet together, and vinyasa. Okay, so we're up to baddha sirsasana C. Carol's favorite. So this one we do all the time. The one with pincha arms, forearms parallel to each other. And we'll come down in the same spot as when your fingers were interlaced. So you can always start with your fingers interlaced, put your head down and then move your palms. That is fine. So in this one, it's very likely that you can do the split legs. And mostly that's because you're more used to this variation of headstand. So I'm going so slow, I only just now got my legs in the air. And then we try to do the split. So I couldn't talk during that. I don't know why Miss Carol's walking around her house. Girl, get back on your mat. I did feel my thumbs start to slide together, so that's ideally not happening to you. So when you're ready, let's meet in downward dog again. Shake out your head and neck. And jump through, have a seat. I'm going to watch it look. Yes, girl. Woo, woo. All right, so let's bring our right leg into a baby cradle just for a moment. Sit up tall. And we're going to hold our right calf muscle with our right hand. Left hand to the right foot. And we'll bring this leg back so it's like a half happy baby. So our knee is moving back. And we're going to try to get our shoulder under that calf as far as it can go wedged in there. Then the knee is going to bend so that the leg will stay with no hands. And place the hands down on the mat. Lean forward. Push your leg into your arm. Lift your butt. Lift your left leg. And just stay here for a moment. So you're floating in space. The more you push your leg into your arm, the easier it is to get up. Okay, come on down. So that, ideally, you felt a lot in the abs. Okay, other side, left leg. So we're doing this as a prep because to get your shoulder under your knee, your hip has to be pretty open. So we've been prepping for this for quite some time. Okay, left hand to calf muscle. Use the thumb to roll that calf muscle in toward your ear. It's a similar thing as when you had to twist in ardha yoganidrasana. You have to move flesh out of the way. And when you can, hands down. So they're not down next to your hip, they're in front of you. Just like if you're jumping back. Lean your shoulders forward, straighten your arms. Your butt's gonna come up, no problem. And you gotta lift your right leg with your hip flexors and your quads, and it hurts and it's hard. Okay, come on down. Oh Lordy, we made it. Okay, diamond shape with the legs. Tuck the chin a bit and bring your head toward the arches of your feet. This should be pretty relaxing, not a big deal. Okay, rise up and let's jump through and vinyasa. Perhaps your favorite headstand of all time is coming up now. Mukta. If you've never done it, I do recommend a wall or just stay in that pike because you do not want to topple over. So this is the one where our arms are out to the side. And remember when you first are standing on your mat and you go ekam, inhale, look up, that thing that your shoulder does in that moment when you're reaching up, you see how your pinky finger is angling up towards the ceiling? It's the same thing in your shoulder, but it's into the floor. So give it a try. Arms are out to the side, and it's a rotation of your shoulder such that your pinky finger, edge of the hand, is pushing down. Lisa, I don't know if you know, but your left elbow is a lot more bent than your right. Maybe it's the bow arm situation. You were like, maybe one was like this much different. Okay, she's gonna try it again. So Enough, that's pretty good. Try going 2 legs at once, enough. And it's more hands than you think it needs to be. Yeah, Lisa, now you're even. That's good. Okay. All right, so take your time. We're gonna just meet in down dog again. Make sure that your neck feels no pain. If at any point you try these headstands and you do get a twinge of pain, just repeat baddha sirsasana A for like a few months until there's no more pain. There's so much you can do in baddha A to get stronger, to get flexible, to get comfortable. There's no need to play with these ridiculous forms. Okay, right foot forward between the hands, left heel down, both hands big toe side of foot. So this is parsvakonasana C. And we did it last week, or today's Friday, so we did it Monday. We're gonna drop our shoulder inside of our knee, just like we did when we were sitting on our butts. So that right hand can guide the calf muscle in toward your ear. And place your this is your left hand on your right ankle, left elbow on the floor. Either your right hand on the floor, or start to slide your head under your ankle, in which case your right hand might need to help you, or do something else for your balance. If your head is back there, unwind that piece of it. We're going to turn this into bakasana B. So your shoulder's already in a good spot behind your right knee. Place your palms flat on the ground. Step your back foot in, so it's maybe 18 inches behind your right foot. Your left knee is going to go to your left upper arm like it would in bakasana. You'll get your left foot off the ground. Your right foot is just going to creep forward, and you'll have your right thigh on your right tricep. So the right leg is like titivasana, and your left leg is like bakasana. To get out of this, we're going to lean forward, bend our right knee so our heel comes in toward our butt, and jump back. So if you can visualize just a regular bakasana, it does make that pose and that transition a little easier. Okay, left foot forward. Right heel down. So it's warrior 2 legs. Hands big toe side of foot. Start to slide that left shoulder under. Take your time working out this calf muscle dilemma. If you are going to put your foot behind your head, or I should say your head under your ankle, you might want to move your left foot a little bit more to the right. Might make it a little easier. However, if you're not ready to put your head behind your ankle, there is nowhere that you could put your foot for the magic to unfold. You just have to be patient. We'll keep our shoulder there. If your head is there, let that go. We're going to step our back foot forward, but not too close, because you still need some wiggle room. So you'll put your right knee on your right arm. There's your bakasana. Drop your butt a little bit. Slide your left foot forward. Try to straighten your left leg. This is called bakasana B. To get out of here, we turn it into normal bakasana. Hips up. Bend your left leg, then jump it back. Good. We lived to tell the tale. That was really hard. Okay, let's come through and have a seat. I'm going to watch a nook again. Okay. Very good. So, I knew I wanted to do this next thing today, but I'm kind of dreading it. So let's just get it over with. We're going to just bring our right knee in. Left leg could be out there somewhere. So here we are in like a little pike. And we're gonna lay down, extend the right leg, and then we'll bring it up again. And we'll just do that 3 times per side. This is already gonna be our 3rd time on the right. So then we get to extend the left, or no, extend the right and bend the left. Oh lordy, okay. So take your time. Okay, and whenever you feel like you're well done, lay back. Let me check in with the clock. Okay. So let's go for a supta bakasana. So we're going to interlace the fingers around the pinky toe side of the foot, the soles of the feet together, and we're going to try to pull the feet in close to the pelvis. With the power of the mind, we're just going to push the knees away. And you've already done bakasana and tons of hip things, so maybe it's no big deal. Let's take one more breath. Keep hold of the right foot, just slip the left leg away to go anywhere, up, out, or bent in. And just push the right foot over to the left about 8 inches. So now your shin is centered on your torso. You'll have to use your left hand to do this because your right hand can't reach over there. So now we just have like a pigeon situation. Start to do a little sit-up. Bring your chest and shin a little closer together. And make a choice. If you want to bring your right arm around, your left elbow around your right ankle to make a little pillow. Or do you want to put your shin behind your shoulders so that in essence, a pillow is like the last of your concerns. If you put your foot behind your head, put your right hand on your left thigh and pull your shoulder forward a little bit more so that that calf muscle is dealt with. Okay, slowly get out of wherever you are and just reach your legs up, shake it out. Okay, so let's bring the legs to like a chair kind of position. And we'll just do a little sit up. And we'll just touch the toes down and then lift it up. And then the other toes down and lift it up. Okay, and then come on down to your back again. Bring the left leg to a pigeon-like thing. The right leg straight out or up or bent in. I like straight out because then my right hip flexors get this crazy stretch. Maybe you slip your left ankle to the elbow of the right arm and wrap around. Or if you're going for foot behind the head, your abdominals are going to lift you up a bit. And you're just going to take your pigeon back a bit. So it's still quite pigeony. Okay, slowly get out of there. Okay, let's lift the legs up, shake them out, and bring them to about a 45-degree situation. And from that 45, just start to scissor them up and down. So they're passing each other sort of at that 45 line. And as you're doing this, push your low back down to the floor. Your arms can be anywhere. Don't let there be any gap between your back and the ground. If you find that that's too difficult, just lift your legs higher and be more vertical. Okay, knees into the chest. Rock and roll until you can sit up and vinyasa. So our last headstand is baddha sirsasana D. There is no mukta hasta D, thank goodness. So this one looks really gnarly, but I don't think it's the worst of the 7. It's definitely hard though. So you're gonna have your elbows down and your fingers up on your shoulders. So the head positioning is the same as it was before, just that nothing else on your forearm or hand are on the ground. So you never knew how strong your elbows could be until you try this. And if possible, you'd go 2 legs at once. But if you need to kick to get up there, then just try to go slowly 2 legs at once on your way down. Good. I like your path up, Anouk. That was good. Okay. Yay, we did all the 7 headstands. Woo woo! Let's meet in downward dog, shake it out. Okay, we're gonna come through and have a seat. We're gonna lay back. And we'll let our left leg be straight, our right leg be up. And we'll just do a little sit up. And we're gonna pretend that we're about to kick ourselves in the face or knee ourselves in the face rather. Then switch legs, so your left knee is now coming to your face. And switch again. And switch again. And if you wanted a little more in the flexibility department, you could hold on to your leg and like pull it toward you. That does feel more rubber bandy. Okay, and then come on down. All right, couple options here. So Happy Baby has 2 hand positions. You can hold the edges of your feet on the outside, or you can hold the heels from the inside. Feel free to do either of those, or that supta baddha that we did. Or take your left leg, try to kick your heel to your forehead, and put your left leg behind your head. Left hand to the right thigh so that you can get your shoulder very far clear of your calf muscle. Then your right leg can come around, and you can try to do the same so that you cross your ankles. Just take 2 more breaths. Okay. So slowly get out of there. I don't know if you remember when we talked about chakrasana way back when. So really the exit for that pose is chakrasana. So I'll show you again in case you forgot. This is the one where we have to be sort of off the front of the mat in order to land in chaturanga properly. So I get it set up where my butt is literally on the wood in front of my mat. Then I bring the feet over, place the hands near the shoulders, and I'm going to reach with my feet as I push with my hands, and then immediately look forward so we wind up in chaturanga. So if you want, take that exit. That is the actual exit, but it doesn't mean it's your exit. This is one where the faster you go, the easier it is. But, okay, let's come through our downward dog, which maybe you got there one way or the other. Let's jump through and have a seat. And then keep your legs lifted until they're straight. Okay. So, a couple options here. So we did earlier that Konasana. So you could try to do that with your legs a little closer together and turn it into Kurmasana, which would be here, arms under the legs, or you're going to try to balance on your butt. And for this first one, we're not going to put our feet behind our head just yet, but we will in like 3 minutes. We're just going to try to get our shoulder inside of our knee, and then our other shoulder inside of our other knee. Woo! And see how I just fell back? That is a thing. So what I usually do is when I'm dealing with the setup, I have some fingers on the ground. And once your legs are where you want, then you're going to use your legs to kind of press into your arms, and you're going to think chest up and just try to balance. Just see how it goes. No problem. So let's turn this into Sirsasana. Why not? Because I can see that you're almost there. So hands by your hips, lean forward and push your legs into your arms. So your butt just came off the ground. All you did was push down to make that happen. And then come to your butt again and let it go. Okay, so Anouk, you need your legs higher up. Your leg has to be like definitely above your elbow, but the higher up, the better. So maybe, remember this thing we did earlier where we did one leg and then we lifted? So you could repeat that even one side at a time. So if balance on your butt is tricky, grab a towel and sit on the towel because the absorbing factor can help. And then when you want to go to foot behind the head, it's going to be a lot of leaning forward. So let's give it a whirl. Left leg getting back there, no problem. And if feet are not going behind the head, just repeat the ones where you put your shoulders inside of your knees. So once you get your feet back there, we're going to bring the hands to prayer. You might keep your fingers on the ground. You might bring them all the way up. And you're going to push your legs into your shoulders. To get out of it, let's undo the legs and find Sirsasana again. Bakasana to vinyasa. Okay, pincha mayurasana. Come down to hands and knees. Measure out your elbows. So you know they're not too wide, not too close. You should be able to wrap your fingers around. Place your palms and lift your legs up. Either one or both. And you can always balance with your head down if you need to. Pincha mayurasana, really, you are looking between your fingers. And Anouk, come a little further away from the wall. Like your elbows toward that other edge of your mat. Yeah, and now try. Because you need room for your feet to travel. Top leg a little straighter. Good. Okay. And just come on down to your back, take your time. We're just going to meet in a baddha sarvangasana. Sometimes called bridge pose. Okay, let's come on down. So this next one, you're not going to lift your chest as much. So in bridge, we poof up through the chest. This time you're just going to let your shoulders be a little more relaxed, and we're just going to lift the hips to a diagonal. So we have knees, hips, shoulders in a line. And then gently lower yourself back down. And just do that again. So you're really using your hamstrings. You're digging your heels into the floor. And then come on down. And then lift up again. And this time we're going to stay here. We're just going to lift
the right heel off the ground. You might want to move your heels in a little bit, you decide. And then you'll just alternate. We'll try to keep the hips really high as we do this. So you're going to feel this crazy stretch through the hip flexors and a crazy amount of work being done in the hamstrings. Like my hamstrings are exhausted and we just started. Let's just do a few more before they fall off altogether. Okay, and then come on down nice and symmetrically. Ooh, okay, so either repeat paschimottanasana where the chest does poof up, or find your ardha. And now that your hamstrings are on fire, you might have a different relationship to your back bend. Okay, come on down. Either repeat the back bend from your back, or come around onto your forearms and go for your forearm stand again. Your pincha mayurasana, gazing forward as much as you can. So it is a back bend from here or there. And Carol's not going to use the wall at all. If you are choosing pincha, once you get your legs set, keep them symmetrical. Start to deepen the back bend. Hips forward, Carol. Reach to the wall with your feet and push your hips forward. Okay, let's come on down. So based on what I'm seeing, we're going to do one more stretchy thing, and then we'll return to this, this other back bend, whatever it is. So, virasana into supta virasana. So part of the issue that we're having in pincha is that the hips are not wanting to move away from the feet. It could be a mental thing. It also could be tight hip flexors. So let's just loosen them for a few breaths here, and then we'll re-enter our back bend, either pincha or from our back. And if you're in supta virasana right now, push into the toenails and think about lifting your hips up toward the ceiling. That opposition is the same thing that you need to feel to turn it into a deeper back bend of pincha. That opposition of hips and toes. All right, so let's come on up, take your time, and take your last back bend, be it paschimottanasana or ardha or pincha mayurasana. Keep reaching your feet, Carol. Reach them more toward the wall. Do it again. Yes. Good. She looks flustered, you guys. It's hard, but it worked. You got a little more stretch out of that. So pincha is a weird pose because you got to be strong and flexible all at the same time and really controlled and really slow. Yeah. Okay. So when you're ready, just have a seat. Stretch the legs out in front of you and just walk your hands toward your feet. Fold any amount that suits you. Let's rise up. I'm just going to bend the right knee, hug it to the left shoulder. like a modification of Mayurasana C. Let's unwind and go the other way. So that left foot is as close to your butt as you can get it. Okay, and unravel, do whatever last poses you need, and we'll meet in Shavasana.
few more breaths here.
Start to wiggle yourself in any way so that you can sit up. Let's bring one hand to the chest, fingers spread wide, other hand on top. Take a deep breath. Just feel the expansion, compression. And bring the hands to gentle fists just at your hip crease and fold over the fists. It's just one way to seal your practice. Namaste.